Well, hello. Welcome to the Kinda Nerdy Night In. There are no kitties in the actual kitties in the studio cam right now, but we got a nice little view of socks there. We Buffy was with us on Wednesday night during the show, and I was so mad because like right as the show ended, she got irritated with Socks the stuffed cat being up there, and she actually like used her little back feet and she like bunny kicked him until he got out. And I was like, oh,
she did.
That would have been so great for the show, man. Why did you do that at 2 minutes after the show?
Right.
It is the Kind of Nerdy Night In, and we have not done this for a while, but we're hoping to get back in the swing of things. We've got some friends with us, and as usual, we want to thank our sponsors like PopCon and Summer Bash and Conquest Journals and brand new Arpo Whiskey and Whiskers, which is an event we have coming up, all helping make this possible, and also our patrons who are helping make the live stream possible tonight. So, if I don't do a good job of talking about the fact that we have a Patreon, but we do. And if you go to kindofnerdynetwork.com, you can throw a few dollars our way and keep this thing a rocking. Patches is in studio with me again tonight. Hopefully that's good.
Yeah. Let's hope. Let us hope, guys. Let's just hope.
There were some technical difficulties on Wednesday.
Just a wee bit.
We got through it. All right. So we are here. We've got some of our kind of nerdy crew with us. Patches, do you want to go ahead and bring in the people? Bring in the group?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Let's do this.
Look at that.
Oh my gosh. We've got first off joining us, kind of nerdy Clay.
How's it going?
Good, man. How are you doing?
Good. I was experiencing my own technical difficulties, so I literally signed on like right as you were coming my way. So
it's all good. I kind of forgot that this is a hangout and not a show. So, I mean, we have some things, but like we are not going to entertain you at all. Welcome to the Kind of Nerdy Night In. But it's not that like fast-paced KJ Today show where there's 8,000 graphics moving around and times that we need to hit and things like that. Samantha is watching / listening in the car. Check in and let us know where you are joining us tonight. Mary Beth, thanks for joining us. As usual, if you've got a KJ kind of nerdy crew number, let us know what it is. Hi, Jessica. Yay. We're seeing all of our friends. Hi, Ryan. Whoop, whoop. And if you don't have a crew number yet, go to kjcrew.com. That's KJCrew with a K.com. All right. Patches. We have kind of nerdy Brandon here with us. Who let that guy in?
Apparently, we both texted him yesterday that I found out. So,
did we seem desperate?
It's possible.
Yeah. Pat just texted me later last night, like 10. He's like, sorry for this late hour. I'm like, okay, Grandpa. Like, do you talk to your spouse?
No.
So.
No, definitely not. Brandon still coming off an amazing weekend of the PopCon podcast stage. I would say the best yet, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I kind of felt it before, and then it executed perfectly.
Awesome. We'll be, I'm sure, talking more about PopCon as the night goes on. Who else is here, Patches?
Sam Jackson is chiming in. Hello,
Sam. Summer Bash Sam. I sent you the link, didn't I? I thought you were joining us tonight,
If
Sam.
not, just say yes or no, and we'll get it to you.
Yeah, if you don't have it, let me know.
All right. So, all right, coming up next to the Kind of Nerdy Night In.
Oh, yeah, please use your announcer voice.
That's right, everybody. We have Michelle.
Woo! Michelle is the executive lore keeper and also the kind of nerdy crew coordinator here. She kind of keeps everything together. Although she had to ask me before the show what her title was. remembers everything but her role.
Michelle is the director of well, what would you say? Because she's.
Are you going to give her another title?
Oh,
right
I
now?
don't. Of the con table.
Yes, yes. for sure. And you know what, Michelle? I've been chatting with. I don't want to call them out and require them, but there's another of the kind of nerdy crew that has had such a good time and is so tempted to come to Louisville, because I don't know if you heard the first announcement for PopCon Louisville.
Wait. Let's bring in. We have one more guest. That we need to bring in tonight.
Oh my goodness, all these guests. Okay,
I know,
go
right?
ahead.
And we have kind of nerdy Erina.
Yay! Hi, Erina.
Hi.
Hello.
Looks like my glass. I have blue eyes, apparently.
You know what? You know what it looks like? If you held still right now, it looks like you just took a picture in 1982.
I mean, that's where I'm at. Life was better in the 80s anyway.
It's
That's
true.
right.
Yeah.
Enjoy
True.
ET. Yeah.
My God, I have to, like, if I don't want to see you guys, I'll just go over here.
Right.
There we go. Leave me alone. I need a minute. So Erina, I don't, want to, like, can I let the cat out of the bag and say you're thinking about coming to PopCon Louisville?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much everybody. Most people here probably know.
Okay.
Anyway.
Oh, you know what? We need one of the fancy PopCon graphics. Like Anson Mount is coming to PopCon Louisville, August 23rd to the 25th. Get your tickets now at the best price, early bird special. Go to popconlouisville.com. I'm going to make a graphic that just has you in this little space graphic, Erina.
Vector graphics.
Please put him beside me. I would like that, please.
Oh, I can. Yeah, you know what? I'll just, we'll do I'll have you kind of like popping out from behind him. Like, Anson Mount and kind of nerdy Erina are coming to PopCon Louisville.
I love it. Let's go.
Were you guys already thinking about it, or was it, is it,
Honestly,
do you love him that much?
Well, I had thought about doing it this time and actually had went to the website. But at the time I wasn't 100% sure if we were going to make it. And then I kind of forgot about it.
Like make it to PopCon, or like make it in general?
No, well, make it in general. Every day's a question. But when I heard that he was coming, then I was like, I need to go, because I love him as Captain Pike. I'm a big Star Trek nerd.
Yeah. And
I love Strange New Worlds, and he's easy on the eyes a bit. So
for sure. I mean, just like look at him.
He puts the fox back in Silver Fox. Like
that he does. That he does.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I was already planning on going, but when they told me that was happening, all right, thank you. Good night, Patches. I hope the mics are still on. He's like, screw you guys. I can't compete with Anson Mount. I'm out of here. But I too, I am a big fan of Strange New Worlds. And so the fact that we've been like, okay, like he signed the paperwork, right? We really have a contract. It's really happening. And then to be able to like put it out there and announce it, it's been very exciting. Are we okay, Patches?
Yeah. It's just double checking audio and whatnot. So
okay.
we're in good shape.
The mics are on.
The mics are on.
We are professional people.
Mic is on.
Oh, all right. So we've got a great crew here tonight. And I thought, if anybody has any ideas, it's like kind of getting like back in the swing of things. If you're just watching for the first time, the kind of nerdy night in originated during the pandemic, because prior to the pandemic, we would do movie nights and, things like that. And so we would see each other a lot, and then we couldn't do that. And it was actually the brainchild of Erina's husband, Paul, who is our musical director, to do a kind of nerdy night in. And, I thought to myself, I'm like, oh no, I don't want to do that. Nobody will show up. It'll be embarrassing. I'll invite people to the party and no one will come. And I mean, honestly, it was just such a cool thing because we really did. I mean, we all knew each other, but I felt like through the kind of nerdy night in that like there were a lot of friendships that got a lot stronger.
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, I'd kind of like to pose the question to, to you guys, not you, Brandon, because you never showed up. I don't know what you were busy doing on Friday nights during the pandemic. Honestly, I'm giving you a hard time, Brandon, but I don't know that we were like, we've gotten a lot closer because of PopCon. So it's okay. But I'll start with you, Michelle. I mean, did you feel like those, you don't have to say like, oh, they changed my life. It was so great. I'm so glad you did that. I'm not looking for validation, but honestly, like somebody else, just please talk.
Well, for me, because I was still working out in the field during that time, but it was something to look forward to every Friday night and talking like anywhere from TV, music, movies, it was great. And getting to know some really close friends now. So we're all like really close friends now. Yeah. So, and that made it really rewarding for that time.
Yeah. Erina, you guys, I mean, obviously like we went back to the OG, Comic-Con bus, right? So James Marsters, yeah. Jessica, who is our, kind of nerdy teacher. We really got to become friends. Like all these people that we would kind of see sometimes, or maybe not. There were a few people I'd never met in person that we became friends with. What did Ryan say?
Some of us used the whiteboard or paper to write instead of talking.
He's not wrong. The good old days.
Mary Beth, best bus trip ever. That was really fun.
Yes,
it really was. And I'm so glad that you all still like me, even though at the end of the trip, I was like, all right, get back on the bus. I'm staying. Good luck.
What about that? You left us behind.
I did.
Actually, we did that
through the wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could have been kidnapped and you had no idea.
Yes. Oh my God. How did you guys ever survive?
Well, and I think you guys all know me well enough that I like to keep a schedule. I mean, you kind of have to, convince me to like change especially when it comes to like, I don't even know who ended up watching our cats. I mean,
who knows?
I think Patches was like, are we really doing this? Like, you're really blowing off the bus and staying here? And I was like, the guy said we can't miss the after party, and Matt Smith is here. We can't miss the after party. Like, yes. Apparently my threshold for responsibility is Matt Smith. And if he's involved, then like, I don't know, the cats will be fine, right? If it makes you feel any better, I don't know if we ever told you the story, but I was like, there's Megabus. We'll just get on the Megabus. Like, it's like $18. We'll get Megabus.
Oh, we didn't know how Megabus worked, though.
I had to wake him up in the morning and tell him, like, so there was a game, there was a tournament game going on. Kentucky was playing in Indianapolis. And so every Megabus ticket was booked to go to the tournament. And we spent an exorbitant amount of money at the airport to rent like the last car available in Louisville.
And it was like smaller than a Ford Aspire.
I don't remember.
I swear to God, it was smaller than one of those smart cars.
I don't know what I've done. I may have stranded us in Louisville.
You're still there to this day.
Yeah, right? Oh, my God. And we also have one more little late ad, but ladies and gentlemen, from Summer Bash, Indiana, it is Sam Jackson.
Wow.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, there he is. Oh,
Hello.
Sam's here. So guess what? The positive vibes are here too, provided by Summer Bash.
Thank you.
Indiana.
Thank you.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. Somebody forgot to send me the link, so
Did I
that's why I'm
really?
late. Yeah,
Ooh,
I'm
okay.
the worst.
I'm glad you said it.
Did you send him the link?
Just
Oh,
now.
thank you. I was like, well, how did you end up here?
I bought it off the dark web. It's fine.
You got it from me. I'm signing it currently. Yeah.
Clay, not one to judge since our entire show on Wednesday sounded like this, but you do sound like you're in a tin can.
So
I know. The technical difficulties that I had, I was trying to find my microphone, and I found my microphone. What I don't have is the peg that it connects to my desk.
Ah, it's all good. We
let
still
me-
like you.
Continue.
No,
I
you're
can
fine.
hold
This
it.
is just the kind of nerdy.
I mean, I
night
can
in.
take you out if you want to try it. It's your call.
Brandon has an extra mic if you need it.
Yeah.
Brandon, could you hold that mic up to the camera and just see if Clay gets louder?
Does this work? Is that better? No. Double.
Good Lord, Brandon, have you been chewing on that?
Talking like I'm talking like this. As if you can, no, the cat got onto it, so it's got a little bit of character to it.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meowed.
The cats they haven't chewed on these, but sometimes in the middle of of an interview, like I think during Candace Cameron, which is
Beret.
Beret, it just is premiering in a few minutes on YouTube because I don't schedule things well. But I was like, all of a sudden I realized there was a whole bunch of cat hair on here, and I'm like, how do I just like bring this down here? Not look out like I'm petting my microphone. But what are you going to do? All right. So I did have a couple of things I thought we would talk about. And I was going to say, if anybody we used to, like, in trying to get back into like how we did the kind of nerdy night in, I think we would do, sometimes we did.
It's been so long.
I know. And it's the WED, work with, or wipe out. We did that for a while. We did One Must Go. If anybody has any topics in those and you want to put it in the comments.
Oh, yeah. We're playing MFK.
What?
The clean version,
The
apparently.
clean version.
Oh, okay.
Red work with wipe out. And ours is nicer too, because wipe out is like the Thanos snap. So you never even knew you existed. Like we don't.
Oh, no, you knew you
there's
That's
no.
horrible.
No,
you knew you
you
existed.
would rather have a painful death and be murdered?
At least I felt something. Wait.
this is
You know?
getting deep now.
Only
Could
Brandon
never be
would
known.
say
Could
that.
never be known.
Oh, my God.
But if you were never known, you didn't know that you were never known.
No, babe, that's where you're right. The snap didn't erase you from existence. It killed you on the spot. You still had your legacy leading up to that point.
But I'm saying, like, what I imagine is that you got erased from existence, wiped out, like you just were never there.
Okay,
Like
so
kill
that's
baby
Doctor
Hitler,
Who
got it.
stuff.
That's like,
Yeah.
Doctor Who, more Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I would prefer.
Okay. Hey, man, you do you. This is your world, man. I'm just making sure the sound doesn't go all haywire again.
Well, I don't know, Sam. Okay, look, we've got a topic, guys.
Oh,
Ooh, the topic.
Would
Okay.
you rather have lived and then been murdered in a painful,
Okay, we're going
terrible death?
We're going down a dark path here, dude.
Or would you have rather have never existed? Okay.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
Look, man, with I'd rather have the Tom Holland death. I want to make people cry when I die.
Oh
You know
gosh,
what I mean? I don't want to go, Mr. Stark. I don't want to go.
that
Oh,
was the
don't.
worst.
Yeah.
I laughed.
Exactly.
I
That
was
one-
more mad
that one
about
hit.
Bucky dying. I'm just saying.
Well, that was tough, but that was kind of like the first one. And Steve, like
Yeah.
Steve's like, oh my God, my friend, freaking again, right?
Right,
And
right.
then, but
Are you sure he wasn't Colin Donnell?
hey, can we not? I've had enough of after the rewatch of Arrow. I've had enough of what happened to Tommy in Arrow over and over and over again. Don't
Yeah.
bring it up.
Like he did
Mhm.
Again.
a lot.
So I don't know. I mean, Sam, which would you prefer?
I said I want it to mean something, so I'm going to draw mine out a little bit. I don't want to die instantly.
Okay. All right. But I mean, like, if you never existed, you don't have the feelings of sadness that you never existed.
Yeah, but if I didn't exist, I feel like the world would be a darker place anyway. So
I do agree with that. I agree with that. If you never existed, there would be a bit of a hole. And we'd be like, I don't know what that hole is. I can't fill it.
that's a big ass hole, but I don't know what it's
That's a
for.
really big hole. I can't fill.
There's a hole in my heart that can only be filled by you.
Oh,
Oh.
man.
Nice.
Extreme.
Wow.
Wow,
Nice.
you know what's weird? Brandon is so much nicer when John is not around.
Nuno.
You know what's
Not all the
funny,
time.
Sam, is that I did send Jonna the link, and she's not here. So,
Yeah, she has no contractual obligation to the kind of nerdy.
I
Night
told her
In,
it was
Nor
optional.
dedication, nor dedication.
so.
As we can see.
To her defense, she never, when we were doing this on a weekly basis during
I
the
don't
pandemic,
think
she never popped in.
No,
She
she
did
didn't.
once, maybe
I don't-
twice the entire,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and Katie too, and like, and I mean, she's like growing a human being right now, so like she doesn't have to do anything she doesn't want to do. Just keep growing that baby. We have a kind of nerdy baby on the way. Like it's our first. I know, right? Yeah.
Hello, Rosie.
And then I don't know. I
Anytime.
always just assume because Tia's in New York that she's very busy doing New York things. I don't know. Like
She lives in Yonkers. Come
New
on.
York people are very busy.
Yonkers.
Meeting a bagel for breakfast and a slice of pizza for.
Yeah. I mean, the place on the corner's got good pastrami. All right.
Yeah.
It's good to have Rosie back.
Yep.
For the
Wait,
kind
yeah.
of nerdy night in.
It's funny. Like this is my office, so I'm here literally 8 to 5 every day at least. She's never in here. And
Meow.
as soon as we fired it up, I don't know if it's everybody's voices or what, but yeah, she came right in.
Oh.
baby.
Yeah.
It's like,
Making
Dad,
her way across the desk.
this was my time with you. Come on. I love
This
the
is-
nerdy night.
Yeah,
In.
right.
This is my
Seriously.
time to show off
I-
my butt.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Also, probably time to
Uh-oh,
eat. That
uh-oh.
may be part of it. Do I
Oh.
sound less like I'm in a tin can?
Yeah, you sound
Oh
you
yeah,
sound good now.
sound much
Yeah.
much
Okay.
better.
Right.
Yes, the quality we expect for
No.
No.
Kids.
Socks may get knocked off.
Uh-huh.
Buffy's.
Buffy.
You gonna
Oh,
take him out,
Buffy.
Buffy?
Get him.
Get him.
Get him, girl.
There you go.
There
girl.
she is.
There you go. Oh god. Oh god. She may knock the whole camera off.
Oh, she's behind the acoustic panel.
Yes, she is.
Oh, you jerk.
Oh, she's not.
Oh,
Oh, there we go. Oh, this
Okay,
is
thank
great.
God.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
I love our cats. I love our cats. I love our cats.
Hey guys, this
That's
is
what's
the
on.
new and improved kind of nerdy night in. So guess what? We have sponsors. Can you believe it?
Oh.
Nope.
She just oh my god.
Of course I didn't have it on.
She
Jesus.
just knocked socks off.
Ah.
She literally just
Ah.
knocked him out. He's going back up, Buffy. Sorry. Oh yeah, this is going to be a whole thing. This is what our sponsors, this is what our sponsors pay for right here. Buffy
Right.
versus socks.
All
All right.
God.
We'll be back with what's popping in geek culture and what's got you kind of nerdy. And we'll continue our discussion of would you like to have been alive and die a slow, painful, murderous death, or would you rather be wiped out? Stand by for that.
Well, guys, what's popping in geek culture is powered by Conquest Journals. The Conquest Journals, that is us, creates officially licensed fan art for Harry Potter, Supernatural, Friends, Schitt's Creek, and more. From planners and notepads to window clings and collage kits, we bring fandom fun to your work, home, and life. Use code KJ today to save 10% off your entire order. And be on the lookout for Socks's butt in the
Thanks, Buffy.
Yep, good girl. I wish I had the camera on her. She's laying on her side. But hey,
Yeah.
guys, the KJ Today Show invites you to attend ARPO's first annual Whiskeys and Whiskers happening Sunday, July 1st from 1 to 4 p.m. at West Fork whiskey in Westfield. Taste over 200 of the best whiskeys. Enjoy food, a silent auction, and the company of some of Arpo's adoptable cats and dogs. VIPs will be treated to a private whiskey tasting and food pairing and get to meet our good friend Dixie the praying dog. I don't think she wants to mess with Buffy, guys. If you heard the scream, woo! Seriously, come out for the whiskey tasting, the food pairing, and you get to meet Dixie the praying dog, KJ, and the world famous Patty Spittler from Pet Pals TV. Help us help more pets. Get tickets at adoptarpo.com. Once again, that's adoptarpo, ARPO.org.
.org. Thank you very much, Patches. Appreciate it very much.
Taking a break.
And it was okay that Buffy made the cameo during the Arpo event because Buffy is an Arpo kitty. So.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Speaking of kitties,
Oh,
look at that.
Look at that. All right. Brandon, okay, it's time for kitty share time. Tell us about your kitty, Brandon.
That's Madeline.
Oh.
Is she the one that
that's
was
it.
taking what made the microphone a little snack?
Yep. She turned 6 this year.
Oh.
Yeah, just recently 6. Her and the dog fight each other all the time, so they're about the same size. So
Okay.
the dog is playing and she is fighting for her life.
That's why she's got to rest up, save her strength.
What a baby.
Yes.
Ooh, big
All right, guys, it's time for what's popping in geek culture. Powered by Conquest Journals.
Conquest Journals.
Yes, Jessica, isn't that teacher planner? I'm so glad that you like it. Jessica is a teacher. So if you, Jessica, the teacher in the Kind of Nerdy Network are approving of the teacher planner, I think you guys got it right, Patches.
I think we did. That is all credit to Shelley and our creative director, Tracy Gurney.
Mm-hmm. So what's popping in geek culture? Well, when I scheduled this Kind of Nerdy night in, I totally forgot as a gigantic Doctor Who fan that Doctor Who is out today. Yay! It's back.
Hey.
Yeah. So, Erina, I know you're a big Doctor Who fan. Let's see. Who here is not a Doctor Who fan? Nope.
You are. Yeah. All right. Number
You're
one.
voted.
No.
Voted
You
off.
don't get that.
Never heard. What is it?
Yeah.
So I won't lie, I've never watched Doctor Who, so
That's okay.
That's
That's okay. Normally, like we do when we do the Kind of Nerdy Girls, which we'll be doing live on Wednesday. Like none of the girls are Doctor Who fans. Katie was in the beginning. She's got I think she really liked Tom Baker. Like she prefers the classic stuff, but she has not followed along. So whenever I'm like, great news, guys, Doctor Who's back and all the cool Doctor Who stuff, and I get nothing from those ladies. So we were actually talking about, if we wanted to wrap up after this and then watch at least the first episode. I don't know that I can do both episodes because there's Brandon, there's 2 out, right?
There's 2 out. They're saying 3, but the first one's the Christmas special that aired back in December.
Oh.
So
Really?
So it's
I've already watched it.
Space Babies and the Devil's Cord come out tonight.
Okay.
It came out at 7.
At 7 o'clock.
Well, thank you for holding off to watch it with us.
It was a lot for Brandon. He is also kind of nerdy about the Pacers. How they doing right now?
They are down 3, just as this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Well,
told you.
well,
I
yeah,
just
you're
did.
right.
Yeah.
when I paused it, they were up 10.
Yeah, they
That's
have
unfortunate.
been up 10. They got tied up, then they went back up 10, and now they're down 3.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Okay.
So far they've blown 2 10-point plus leads consecutive in game 1 and 2. So
yep,
come on, Indiana.
consistent.
Clay, did you pause it so that you could watch it after this? Did we just?
No, it's going on in the background. So
I'm not you, Brandon. I was talking to Clay.
I'm not optimistic I'm going to finish it tonight. I've got
Okay.
a chaperone a trip up to Chicago tomorrow, so we've got to be there at like 6 a.m. So I was planning on watching the rest of the game on the way, like on the bus on the way to
Gotcha.
Chicago.
Just stay off the socials, and so you don't
Well,
get
we won't-
any. Yeah.
We won't give
Yeah.
you any more. That'll be the last update I ask for. Way to
Man,
ruin it, Brandon.
Man, Indianapolis feels really sour this morning. I wonder. Man.
Holy cow, yeah.
I do want to ask you, Brandon, because I'm obviously we're huge fans here of Doctor Who, but you are like on another level. Like where
Yes.
we're kind of nerdy, you are like all in nerdy.
Super dork.
I feel like you are, in like expert status when it comes to Doctor Who.
Yeah. And then I feel there's people above me, so I appreciate. Like I always feel like, well, I know for a fact there's people that know more than me and all this stuff, but I do know a lot. I've actually watched the entire series probably at least like inadvertently like 3 times, and that's including all this stuff and all the missing episodes that have only audios to go with them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I totally nerd out hardcore to a lot of things. There's different. The funny thing is like there's different like areas of geeking out to Doctor Who and expertise. So like. Like there's people that are like big time, like missing episodes people. So they'll know a lot more about that. There's a guy I met recently because I'm actually working on documentaries for Doctor Who right now.
Oh, that's right.
And I met a guy who his big thing is air dates and air times and figuring them out in America. So he goes to like all the PBS stations and tries to figure out when exactly every single episode has aired in the United States.
Wow.
And like that's his thing. He goes through and does all that. There's people who geek out on the new series. There's people who geek out on the old series. There are people that are just like all in on the Big Finish audio dramas and such now. Like and I get inside info from people, which is cool to know nowadays. But
you got any inside info on the new series?
No, because I don't like. So when it comes to like new series airing, I'll stay away because I want to be surprised.
Yeah,
I want to experience as best I can. But I do know in Big Finish, I'll say this. In Big Finish, the audios, I was informed this week that one of the people who plays the Doctor that's never done a Big Finish before has agreed to do multiple series and will be recording for release next year.
Ooh.
It's really easy to deduce.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to say
was he a one-off Doctor maybe?
I'm not going to say a gender.
Huh.
But so I'm just really like, I love the classic series, like all of it. Like when we were doing this documentary, we interviewed, there's a book called Red, White, and Who. And there's a group of guys that wrote this book about the history of Doctor Who in the United States. And every one of them had the best answer when we asked like, who's your favorite Doctor? And they all said all of them. And I love that. I love that answer because your least favorite Doctor is probably someone's favorite. And and the Doctor always has that same idea throughout, whether you enjoy the performance or not. There's a weird connective tissue between all the actors that played him. It's just bizarre that it can carry between different eras of writers, producers, actors that can carry, and they're all good. And I have someone who's found appreciation in like every single era to like and enjoy. And I know no one's trying to make bad Doctor Who. People they swing for different things. The show has only existed because they take those chances, because they do new things, because they move forward, because it's not afraid to go to territory where other shows and genres aren't going. And of course, my answer of why I like Doctor Who is because it can be anything, any week for anyone and everyone. So that's like why I think it's great.
Bravo.
There you go. Well done.
Yeah.
Well said.
So, and if you've never seen it, right now, Jump On with Shudigatwa, the best time to start is when there's a new Doctor.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
that was Jessica just said starting Who was my nerdy resolution one year during the kind of nerdy night in, but I failed. That's okay. You have another chance.
It's okay.
You can literally start with the Christmas episode and then these 2 new episodes that are out, and there's nothing. I think, and that's always interesting to me in the writing is that you have I don't envy any of them, because you have different people at different levels of fandom, and you have people who love the classics and know every episode, and they want things tied in together. But at the same time, if you tie something in, can you still do it in a way that someone who doesn't know all of that stuff still cares about the story? Like I mean, that to me is the ultimate challenge.
It's the standard, like comic books versus movies, and that's not part of, like you have your hardcore Star Wars fans that are like the original, episodes 4, 5, and 6, and everything else can go to hell, right? So I mean, like you have that with any fandom, but the fact is, Doctor Who has been on the air for over 60 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, do the math. It works.
All right. We need to talk about something that Sam likes.
No, look, I don't mind. Look, I'm pretty busy, and so we have these conversations all the time where people are like, man, have you seen this? And I'm like, no. I literally just got done watching The Sopranos for the first time.
Awesome.
Wow.
It's been out for 25 years. I just got done watching it today.
Good job, buddy. I'm proud of you.
Very nice. Very
So,
nice.
I'm always looking for stuff to catch up on. My time is very minimal sometimes. So
Living life at the speed of Sam.
something like that.
That is actually a nice segue into our next segment, which we want you to join in the comments. What's got you kind of nerdy? So please start sharing what you're watching, what you're playing, what you're loving, and we'll get to some of your comments right after we hear from this special sponsor.
It is almost time for the best bash of the year, Summer Bash, Indiana. The only concert festival in Indiana that offers an all-inclusive ticket. That's right, drinks, hamburgers, hot dogs, 2 stages, and camping. And Summer Bash pays and covers all the taxes and fees. This year, Josie Scott from Saliva headlines as 18 bands will play the 11th annual Summer Bash Indiana, July 11th through the 13th. Get tickets now at summerbashindiana.com.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Sam, what you got? Any exciting updates for us? It's a new location, right?
It's a new location. It's down in southern Indiana, Medora, Indiana, to be specific. But I do have some breaking news that I'd like to share here.
Let's go.
We got breaking
news.
Yeah. We got breaking news.
So I noticed that Conquest Journals does a promo code for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel like that I can be much of a sponsor unless I do the same.
Ooh.
So only
you got to throw a discount on us
for the Kinda Nerdy Network, for the people who watch this video, because I'm not going to advertise it.
Mm-hmm.
But anybody who uses the promo code KJ today gets 10% off any ticket.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
So that's $10 off weekend tickets, $15 off VIP tickets. So...
And it really is. It blows my mind.
That's really, really good
that you're able to put on a festival, and for people who, if you haven't been, when they say all inclusive, it's not even just talking about the ticket and the fact that that there is food included and there's drinks included. It's all inclusive in that it is. It's a community. It's a family. Like, everyone was so nice. You don't feel like you're just going to a concert with your friend that you went with and watching bands. Like, you're part of something that is it's tough to explain until you've been there, but it's like you want people that you really like to come with you because it's so much fun. So I think that's sort of the best way. And you and I have talked about it, Sam, too, even the first year that you signed on and were like, hey, what's this KJ Today show thing? And we want to sponsor it. And we were doing promos for you during the show, and it changed so much the next year once we'd experienced it, and could be like, hey, this is a really cool thing. And the camping, like being able to, get away for a weekend and just have everything there that you need.
Oh God, yeah.
It's really, it really is amazing what you've created.
Well, and like I said, it's not a one-man job. I definitely didn't get here on my own. It's our entire team that helps throw this on and allows us to be in our 11th year this year. But it's very important for us. Like I tell you all the time, once I get somebody there, they're locked in.
Yeah.
They won't miss one after that, except for Jonna.
Who's
You know
never
it.
But it is. I mean, and I get it that, if it's bands you're not familiar with, $100 for a weekend does sound like a lot. Like I said, about 19% of that goes toward taxes and fees. The food, the drinks, the alcohol, parking, the camping, and then the 18 bands, like it adds up. So I tell anybody, if you're watching this and you don't know what I'm talking about, you can check out the website, summerbashindiana.com. But I mean, come give it a shot. The worst thing you're going to do is waste $100. And I'm pretty sure we've all wasted more than that on less than this. So
Now,
Yeah.
are the 2 rules still in place this year?
they are.
Okay. All right.
No, but-
Patches, do you know the 2 rules?
I believe I might. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Rule number 1
Mhm.
is no glass
Mhm.
is allowed.
That's correct.
That's correct. And rule number 2, which in my opinion is the most important rule, don't be a dick.
That's right.
That's simple. It's all encompassing.
Yep.
So that's what I said. Like we get a lot of questions, or people be like, "Man, like you guys serve beer and wine and stuff for free, like all day. Like you guys have problems, right? Like fights and stuff." And I'm like, "We don't. We've never, knock on wood, we've never had an issue. We've never had an incident. We've never had any of
And
that."
I'll tell you what, man, it is one of the best melting pot of music fans and people that just want to come out and have a good time with anybody and everybody. And it's such a unique environment, and it's such a happy, fun, inviting, welcoming environment. So thank you guys.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being a part of the family. I do appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I can't figure out how Patrick has attended based on rule number 2.
I mean, we have extra precautions in place for him. So
Yeah. Dude, they actually gave me a microphone last year, and I was doing stage now.
Yes,
That's
he
what's
was.
crazy.
Yes.
I mean, you got a voice for it. So
Yeah. Even though he's a dick, you got a voice. You go up there.
you have a voice that people pay
He's more
attention
of a wiener than he is a dick, you know.
Yeah.
We'll let him go.
Oh my God.
All right. What's got you? Say it with me, everybody. What's got you?
nerdy.
Because you nerdy. Kinda.
That one is
What's
terrible.
got
as well.
you?
That
kind
was
of
rehearsed.
Nailed it.
We'll definitely go around everybody on the screen here, but I did. I saw in the comments we've got a lot of people talking about Resident Alien.
Oh yeah.
Jessica started that. She's I adore Alan Tudyk. I mean, that was just a no-brainer when I found out about it. I'm like, a sci-fi show. Oh, Mary Beth, I just started watching Resident Alien in the middle of the 2nd season. For me, it really was that Alan Tudyk was doing a show, and it was a sci-fi show, and he's playing an alien. Like, I don't need anything else. Like, that's just going to be great.
Yep.
And then it's got that, because it actually is on the Sci-Fi Channel. It's got that sort of like, I don't know. There's something about sci-fi shows. They have this sort of like whimsical, witty writing to them that you can tell when you're watching a sci-fi. This show this is a sci-fi show, and it's doing so well.
Almost like they don't take it too seriously.
Yeah, like Eureka was like that. Warehouse 13.
Love Eureka and Warehouse.
All good stuff. So let's see. Aaron, are you guys watching Resident Alien?
We did, and then I don't know what happened. We were, and then we didn't go back, and I don't remember the reason.
We did that. We actually did that. It's just sometimes you get so overwhelmed with things, and then you're like, why didn't we continue that?
Oh yeah, but we liked it. Of course, we love Alan Tudyk as well. but we
Right.
definitely need to get back into it because actually we've been trying to kind of figure out, since we both work from home, a lot of times we take a lunch at the same time, and that's
Mhm.
where we catch up on shows, as we just watch one on the lunch hour.
Yep.
And so that might be one we have to pick back up now that
Yep.
we've kind of gotten through some other stuff.
That's a good. It's a good one to watch on lunch too, because it's I have found, like, when The Last of Us was out, I was watching that over my lunch, and I was like, I need to do something different because I am like so stressed when I get done with
It was
this.
stressing you out that bad?
The Last of Us, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, it's Pedro Pascal. Who cares?
No, you just don't
we
like
care.
Pedro Pascal
We
because
care.
he's in everything, and as soon as everybody likes someone, you decide you don't like them. I don't know why.
There's an oversaturation point.
But it's a show that is kind of on that level of, remember when we were watching 24 and like you would get done with it and you'd be like, ugh,
Yeah,
I don't know why I put myself through this. Like
I know.
I felt
No more
like
ears being bitten off, please.
Nope. I was like, you know what? I don't think this is a lunchtime show. Resident Alien is a lunchtime show. Let's see. Clay, what are you kind of nerdy about right now?
So based on Indie Circus being at PopCon
Mhm.
and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes coming out now, I went back and started rewatching the Andy Serkis movies, and like I saw them when they came out, and I just finished Rise, and like I forgot how good of a movie that is. Like even like Rise in itself is just an excellent, like really touching movie. So thoroughly enjoyed it. Going to jump into War, and then I'm going to go see Kingdom in theaters. But
I'm going to be honest. I've never seen any of these.
They're great. Like,
really?
I can't recommend. Like Dawn is okay. Like the naming was weird. They like it should have been, because Rise was first, then Dawn, I think, and it should have been the other way around or whatever. But the second one is a phenomenal. Like if you don't watch anything else, watch the second movie in that series.
Okay.
Excellent. Like just excellent. But I quickly I'll say the Swains follow the Millers lunchtime routine. So we are currently watching Ghosts.
Yes.
So good.
Yeah. We're really enjoying it. It's a good show. And great lunchtime entertainment. Like I'm happy go to work, finish my day.
Yep. And they're quick. I mean, and they're quick watches, but the writing's super good.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's so good. So if you haven't started it, I recommend it.
Absolutely. Michelle, what are you kind of nerdy about?
Well, Bridgerton season 3 comes out next week.
Yes.
So I'm really excited for that. But I did start in the shadow. What we do in the shadows. So I'm on just episode 1 because I just got Hulu, so that's the only way I can watch it. So,
oh my gosh.
It's such a good show.
That's
so good.
Something that I've been wanting to watch for a while. So
we can chat about that, because I think I'm only like maybe 4 or 5 episodes in. I was doing that on lunch, and then when I realized that I was going to be doing the Arrow panel at PopCon, I was like, oh crap, I gotta I mean, Arrow was, even when we were watching it, it got confusing, right? And I was like, oh, I gotta rewatch Arrow. So I started doing that on lunch, and then I got into it again. And so then I started back on Superman and Lois, which is awesome. But I just went through the arc. They did a good job, but I just went through the arc where Lois has breast cancer, and I was like, this is not great lunchtime entertainment. Like I was like, yeah. I mean, like they did it well, but they did it well to where you're like, oh, this is terrible, right? So, so you just reminded me.
Well, and we just came off of PopCon, so that was a very fun weekend we had.
Yeah.
There, and I got to meet David. Ramsey is his name?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! At the end of the day on Sunday, and
How many selfies did he take with you?
A lot. So he grabbed Jonna's phone because I forgot my phone at the booth and just snapped all kinds of pictures. So, and he was very, very nice.
He was very nice. He was very,
again.
he knows how to put on the charm, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. When he took my phone, he took a whole bunch, did the same thing, took a whole bunch of selfies with it. He handed it back to me and he's like, that's a great camera. That's a Samsung S23. Is that the Ultra? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, you got a great camera there. And I was like, and I literally looked at it and I was like, thank you. And I'm like, but I didn't have anything to do with it. Like,
right.
It was a really awkward moment where I was like, I don't know why I just said thank you.
You've chosen well.
Yes, I worked very hard on this camera. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's see. Brandon, aside from the Pacers there and Doctor Who here to come, you got anything else going on that's kind of nerdy? I know you can, and you certainly talk about your show because you've got the big, you got your big summer coming up.
Yeah, my summer of 2020 just launched, and it's come out well. People were pumped when leading up to it, and they've come through. Listening feedback is great. I learned today apparently I need to release more Britney Spears centric episodes of my show because that blasted off before I even promoted it one bit. I was like, oh what? People just found it or something. Or maybe it's just Jessica because she's great. But
I will back people up. There, you can't have enough Britney Spears, dude. I am a legitimate fan. That is not said in jest.
Yeah. Well, and Anson Mount, man, Crossroads.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
Carl and Chris said PopCon's going to do more horror, and they bring a star of Urban Legends Final Cut to be the main guest at Louisville. That is just coming through right there.
Good job.
That's exactly
why he's there. That's why he's there. They're like, yep, there he was. Summer 2004 at 20 is kicked off. People are enjoying it. That's great. Myself, I'm still working. I still have a couple more. We still have a few more to record on that one because we began those in January, and then I cross my fingers that nothing we talked about gets super dated. Like we make fun of someone that dies in the time we recorded between that. I've had that happen.
Last year. Yeah.
Yeah. Last year we had a whoop, whoop. And then, let's see, I've been like, I don't know, catching up to some of my like 4Ks and Blu-rays about, High Noon came out on 4K this week. And that's like stunning little transfer. And I think that's a perfect movie, like start to finish. It's 85 minutes for one. That's crazy. And it's just perfect start to finish. Like everything's just got great. It shares its character development throughout rather than backlogging or this. It just kind of comes through. Like we start in the middle of something and it comes through just with how the plot goes, which is how I think some of the best biopics work. This isn't a biopic, but I always hate the Wikipedia paint by numbers biopic. I like it when they pick a certain event in the person's life and they tell that, and usually stuff comes out with them. But that High Noon kind of has that with its characterization. So I watched that. I don't know if you Hardware Wars. Have you guys ever heard of that or seen that? The old
what is that?
Oh my gosh, it's a Star Wars parody that was made back in like 77 or 78. So it's like 15 minutes long, and it came out on Blu-ray for the first time this week, and it includes the characters Luke Starbucker, Ham Salad.
I have a feeling Paul would probably know about this.
Chewchilla, yeah. Chewchilla, the Wookiee monster, which is the Cookie Monster but painted brown. It's a funny movie. It's a funny little parody. And it also
where do you find that? Where's that streaming?
I don't know if it's streaming anywhere, but I'm sure someone's got it on like YouTube or something. But it's a funny little thing. I discovered it back in VHS days because when the special editions came out, they made a special edition of that movie and added CGI flying toasters and irons and stuff like that. So that came out on Blu-ray.
Mary Beth remembers Hardware Wars. So.
Heck yeah, Mary Beth. She knows what's up. So yeah, I've got that. I got Shout Studios sent me to review a steelbook copy of Killer Clowns from Outer Space on 4K Ultra HD. Wow. And funny enough, I've never owned that movie. Like, it's weird. Like,
really?
Yeah, that's one I'm like, this is the first time I've owned it, so I've never paid money for it. There's something.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I went back to my old Columbo box set I got for Christmas and watched a couple episodes of that. So yeah, I'm super nerdy. Columbo, huh? Yeah. One of them had Leonard Nimoy in it. That was
nice.
Cool. Wow. Yeah, I like seeing the fun people that show up in Columbo.
I will tell you, Brandon. I know you and producer Jonna don't always get along, but she does love some Columbo.
Oh yeah, good stuff. I mean, Steven Spielberg directed the first episode. He didn't direct any of the TV movies, but the first episode was directed by Steven Spielberg.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. And John Cassavetes directed a couple of them too. But there's a lot of big people, a lot of big writers. I mean, it's a well-written show. If you like Poker Face,
you're not going to convince me to watch Columbo.
It's the same concept.
I'm not watching Columbo.
So yeah,
not for you, not for Jonna. Like it's not my thing.
Gotcha. But yeah, and then over on Disney Plus, I watched the Tales from the Empire little mini series of Star Wars cartoons. That's a hard find. I'll probably forget about them, but they're okay.
All right. Well, I have to thank Brandon because I think he was the only person today when I put a new interview up on YouTube. He was the only person that was actually excited that it was the other Jim Cummings. So we just had Jim Cummings, the voice of Winnie the Pooh and a gazillion other things at PopCon. And I get these celebrity interviews. They get pitched to me by email, right? And so like I got an email a couple weeks before PopCon. I was like, legendary voice actor, Jim Cummings, May 9th. Like, and then you have to like submit like, okay, I could do these 3 times. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be really cool. I'll get to, talk to Jim Cummings. And then I'm at PopCon and Katie, who is not here tonight, but one of the OG kind of nerdy network founders, she was volunteering and she was working Jim Cummings' table. So she was helping everybody get their autographs and things like that. And she was like, I'll let him know. And I was like, oh, okay. And towards the end on Sunday, I was walking by and she grabbed me and she was like, hey, Jim, this is my friend KJ that's going to interview you. And he's like, you are? And I was like, I guess you're doing a press tour this week. And he's like, I am. And I was like, and I literally like pulled it up on my phone and it's his picture and like his bio and everything. And he's like, oh, okay, well, guess I'll talk to you then. And it was like super weird. And so I'm getting ready yesterday for my Jim Cummings interview, and I am looking over the email again, and it says he's promoting The Last Stop in Yuma County. And here's the YouTube link to the video, to the movie trailer. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, he's a voice actor, and like this is a movie. And it's like, and it says starring, like he's like the lead actor, right? Like starring Jim Cummings. And I'm like, this is making no sense. Like, how is it starring Jim Cummings? He's not in the trailer. Like, and so I look it up and there is another Jim Cummings. And somehow communication got crossed, and the producer that pitched me Jim Cummings, the voice actor, didn't realize that who he was going to get on the phone for all of these like talk shows across the country.
Oh my gosh.
We all think we're talking to Jim Cummings and we're going to have him do funny voices for us and it's going to be great.
No.
And it is Jim Cummings, the filmmaker. And I literally emailed him and I'm like, I'm confused. Can you clarify? And then he got me on the Zoom call and he was like, oh my God, KJ, like I'm so glad you discovered that. Like, that would have been a disaster. This poor guy, right? It would have just been like one talk show after another. That's like, sorry to disappoint you. I can't do the voice of Winnie.
Why do they keep asking me to do Winnie the Pooh?
So, what are your thoughts on Honey?
Just say, "Oh bother," just once. Come on.
So he's an incredible filmmaker. He's got a really cool story. Like, he literally was like, none of this is working for me. I'm gonna make movies my way, even if it fails miserably. He did Kickstarters. Like, he's just like a really inspirational guy, and it's a great interview. But Brandon texted me, and he was like, wow, you talked to Jim Cummings? And I'm like, I did,
but
not the voice actor.
You said the filmmaker? Question mark? Yeah, who else?
Yeah. He's like, yes, he's a real cool guy. I'm like, oh my God, I think you're the only person on the planet that cares that I talked to the other Jim Cummings.
I was like, I saw it pop out. I was like, whoa, awesome. I listened to it, right? I was like, instant listen too. Like, normally I'm like, I'm gonna mark that for later. I was eating. I was like, oh, I'll put that on right now.
Well, you're the one view I've had on that video.
I was like, oh shit, this is awesome.
If y'all could go to the YouTube channel and give a little love to my Jim Cummings interview. That poor guy, he just wanted to promote his movie. And like half the people on the press tour canceled because they didn't do any prep to talk to this guy.
Oh, no.
They were ready for Winnie the Pooh.
He's like super nice too, and a real cool guy. Like, yeah. Oh man, I thought it was out there. He did this little werewolf movie called Wolf of Snow Hollow that was really good. That's where I first saw him, and then I went back to like Thunder Road, and he just like him popping up in things is fun. Like he's been he's a filmmaker, but he'll like pop up in small parts and everything. Like I told you, like I saw him, like he pops up. He's at the beginning of Halloween Kills. He plays a police officer in a 1978 flashback, and I like mentioned that on Twitter. And I did the Leo Point thing because that Leo Point, meme of like when you notice something, and he like we just had a back and forth off of that because he was like, yeah, man, da da da. And it's like, how'd you hook that up? And because David Gordon Green was fans of his work and stuff like that, so they brought him on.
I saw the Wolf of Snow Hollow not too long ago, so I'm gonna have to listen.
Did you
to
really?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, he's got a really like I was talking to somebody, I was like, man. He's got the type of sense of humor that if it like caught on to something like mainstream, everybody would copy it. Everybody, it's got this kind of like Will Ferrell-esque thing that like everybody would like do impressions like that or try to make that. But like he's got a interesting cadence and presence that like if something he does hits mainstream, it could take off and he'd be copied like just the way he does stuff. So
oh wow, cool.
Yeah, and that the Last Stop in Yuma County looks really cool. It's like set in a diner. It just
Jocelyn Donahue. You gonna interview her? She's great.
I don't know, man. This is how my interviews work.
Yeah,
I get an email and it says this person's available on this date from this time to this time. Would you like to interview them? Send 3 times back if you would. Oh. It's like I can't like ask for people. I
get those too. I get some of those too, and I just usually just I got one for like.
Well, hey man, I really wanted to talk to the other Jim Cummings, but as it turned out, this one was very enjoyable.
You made the right choice. It was great. You're the Jim Cummings interview, the filmmaker.
Well, and like usually it's like you got 7 minutes, right? And they're like moving on to the next talk show. And the producer was like, he's like, all right, I mean, do you still want him? And I'm like, yeah, of course. Like I went and did research. He seems like an interesting guy. I'm happy to talk to him. And he's like, all right, well, you can have him for as long as you want.
Oh wow!
Poor guy.
Oh man!
Well, see, KJ, you and Brandon need to talk to Carl and set up a little side room there at PopCon, and then when you have Jim Cummings at the show, you should be like, "Hey, we need 5 minutes. Just come over here real quick."
Hold on. Jim Cummings, the voice actor?
We don't want you.
Take a handful of the celebrities that you already have on hand, and little 5-minute little bites.
I mean, it kind of depends. some of them just don't want to do any press while they're there, and that's okay. And so it usually, if we get interviews with them, it's usually on Sunday, and it's because we've done like a panel with them, or I've talked at their booth, and we kind of have a rapport, and they're like, like the Red Dead guys, they're always up for it, right? Like,
Right.
I mean, but you don't want to cross that line, especially as a member of the PopCon staff, when you know that they in general aren't doing press interviews when they're doing cons. So it's like I always am real careful about not asking for those kinds of things. But if it's something that comes up naturally, then we'll like when we had Ryan Hurst at PopCon, I don't know how we got on the subject of it. I know he brought it up, but he started talking about his dogs, and he's a dog trainer, and and he's really knowledgeable, and he takes it really seriously. And I was like, man, like it was just in conversation. Like I work for Pet Pals TV, and it's our job to like tell these positive stories. And he was like, I mean, if you got a camera around, we can talk about it if it'll help. And I was like, really? And I was like, Donna, get the camera. Ryan Hurst wants to talk about dogs.
Put your phone down. Did I ever tell you about the time I did? The first interview I ever did off one of those emails that are like, you want to interview these people?
Mm-hmm.
Pre-podcasting, Brandon. So I didn't have equipment. And they scheduled it at a weird time in the afternoon. It was Blue Ruin, the movie, but it was Jeremy Saulnier, who goes on to direct Green Room, and he did the 3rd season of True Detective, like the first 4 episodes, and Macon Blair, the star of the film, who he was in Oppenheimer last summer. He's also the director of the Toxic Avenger. So I'm like excited, but I didn't know how to record without stuff. And I went on a hot summer day. I take a lunch break at work with an iPad, my phone, and I like somehow record on my iPad speakerphone doing this, and just blazing hot in the car talking to them. And they went past the like 7-minute thing, and we went for like a half hour. And like, and it's like, and I'm just like dying, and then like everything overheats and ends before I could say bye. And everything like that. But I was like in the car, like holding things. I'm like, hey, da 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 da, and hoping it picks up and stuff. And like, it was a mess. But now I have mics and stuff like that. But this was writer Brandon.
You're all grown up.
I'm all grown up.
I can't remember who it was, but I had one of those too. It was one that I forgot about. I wish I could think of who it was, because it was important enough that I was like in the car, and the producer messaged me and was like, hey, are you ready to go? I'll have them for you here in 5 minutes. And I was like, oh crap. And I pulled over. It was when I was working for Shine 99.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was driving from Frankfurt back home, and I pulled over on 65, and I literally like did the same thing where I was like, I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm totally ready. I'm just recording it here. So you're like, did I just do that?
Oops.
But
passion.
you got to do. Yeah. So now this producer that I work with, I've been working with him since like the beginning of the Smiley Show. Like he would get us guests, and he likes how I interview people. He likes that when people come on the show, because they do a lot of, I don't want to say people are jerks, but they do a lot of like news talk and like some of the like shock stuff, and they want to like try to get rises out of them, or they're like boring interviews. And he knows like I'm at least going to be like, so do you have any cats or dogs? Like,
hopefully they're not dead, since is your record right now.
Listen, Jim Cummings was laying in his bed with his Chihuahua Terrier mix, who was completely alive. Thank you very much.
Excellent.
I have not posted the interview with Matt Matthews, the comedian who is coming to Clues, because that was just terrible. Because he wasn't ready to talk about his beloved chicken that passed away.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
he had to talk about
Bok.
They led with it. In the bio, they led with it. He became a sensation because of Fluffy, his chicken. watch this video. And so I'm certain like every 7 minutes, somebody was like, oh, Fluffy the chicken. And he had to like be like, yeah, she's dead.
Hi,
That was
Louie.
terrible. Hi, Louie.
Did you intro him with like
Did not.
No.
Oh man, we don't pay for an ASCAP license.
But I really, I had a lot of questions prepared for him, and I really just threw him out the window and just let him just like have his time to just talk about how sad he was that his chicken died. And I was like, well, I'm glad it was your first interview, because if it had been somebody else, they probably wouldn't have been as nice or known what to do. And also that I immediately called Jonna and I was like, you are not going to believe this. This time it was a dead chicken. Like, let's see. I was just looking at Aaron commented that, little Louis there has gotten to be such a big boy.
He is. He is big. And he's an Arpo cat too. So
that's right, he is.
That's right.
That whiskey and whiskey.
Jude's bigger than Louis though.
Really?
Is he really?
Mm-hmm. He's a butterball.
I don't see that from the pictures. He's black, so
you can't hardly tell. But
black is slimming.
Okay, so we need to make a call because it's 15 minutes to cat bedtime. So they are actually going to start coming in here and knocking things over.
Oh, Grayson's already out in the hallway posturing.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we gonna reconvene and do a watch along party? Do we want to just like do a chat together and just like text each other, or do we want to hop on another call? I'm open. What?
I will be finishing this game. So
that's right.
That'll be later.
Oh, okay. So
do not put me in a text group.
Everybody text Brandon everything that's happening.
Jinx Monsoon is the Ronnie.
Well, then maybe we can just move over to our kind of nerdy chat, and we can we can chit chat.
I say we do it the chat.
Okay, let's do that.
And we might do it like a Facebook Live or something like that. You never know.
Who knows? We do Patches. We are going to have to get pizza because neither one of us ate. So
crap.
Here we are.
All right, I'm on it.
All right, you get the hot box pizza.
Get them breadsticks.
This was really
you get to cheese bread, man.
Really, really fun, you guys. I forgot how. I mean, I remember it being very fun, but I forgot like actually doing it again. Like, oh, this is why we did this, because we get to hang out with cool people and talk about all the nerdy stuff. And thank you.
It did make me a little sad though, because remembering the last time we did it,
I know
Ella was here and Lucy was in my lap, and it was kind of sad thinking about that. But the puppy's been next to me, so
good.
So this is his first. This is his
first kind of nerdy night in.
I know. He's like super sleepy though.
Oh my goodness!
So big.
Goodness.
Oh, there we go.
Oh my!
He's so sleepy.
Say, Mom, seriously.
Louis meowing at me. So,
hi Susan. Thanks for checking in. We've had
as we're wrapping up.
I know, right? We're gonna plan another one of these because this has been super fun. Thank you, Summer Bash Sam, for hanging out with us and supporting everything that we do, so we can keep doing kind of cool stuff like this.
Yep,
we appreciate you.
Clay had to leave
I
a
guess
little
I'll see you
early.
in about 12 hours.
That's right. You're coming to the Smitten Kitten Cat Cafe.
Oh,
cool. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. So that is it is sold out. So please don't show up if you don't have tickets, because that will be uncomfortable. But because it sold out, I guess that means that we are we should do more of those. So I'll let you know when we have another cat conversation live recording at the Smitten Kitten Cat Cafe. All right, Brandon, go watch the Pacers. Thanks for sacrificing your serious Pacer time to be kind of nerdy with us.
Oh yeah, always.
And Brandon, I'll let you know that we broke it on the Thankful Thursday podcast with our friends from Living Proof. That the kind of nerdy dudes are coming back
Oh,
with
yeah.
a whole new look.
Ooh.
That's all we're
Yay.
saying.
Oh,
And
yes.
there might be a new addition.
Mm. Mm.
Maybe
Ah.
kind of Brandon right there, huh?
Oh, what? Okay.
Good addition.
Might be me. Might be me.
Might be him. You never know.
A few more announcements before we wrap up. Thanks for joining us for the Kind of Nerdy Night In. We've got the Kind of Nerdy Girls live. Our next podcast recording will be live on Wednesday night. We'd love to have you join us live for that at 7:00. Of course, please go check out the gym. I actually put filmmaker on there. So that I did that because I didn't want people to be like,
yes.
you put the wrong picture of Jim Cummings.
They must not either one of them must not be in SAG, because I feel like when they're a member of SAG, they can't have the same name as someone else who's already a part of that. And so that's why there's people who change their name, because they can't have the same name. So it's interesting that both of these people in making movies and voicing stuff have the same name. But
well, you learned something new. I feel like Jim Cummings, the voice actor, is going to win that battle.
Well, you remember there was Mark Wahlberg and then Mark L. Wahlberg, host of that island cheating show back in the 90s. Or no, the early 2000s. Temptation Island. Yeah, Mark L. Wahlberg.
That's right.
Yeah.
Also, while we were chatting here, my interview with Candace Cameron Bure hit the YouTube channel, and we talked all about her pets. We did talk a lot about Full House. She was a lot of fun. And hopefully I've had a couple of interviews that have been canceled, but I'm like, okay, just don't pre-promote things, but I'm just going to put the good vibes out into the world, because Jeremy Sisto is supposed to be calling in on Monday. So yes, apparently his character in FBI has a really big episode on Tuesday. So
he gets killed then.
That's always the worst. I'm like, why are you doing press when their character's getting killed off? Or I had to interview David Boreanaz for the series finale of Angel. Tune in tonight for the last show ever.
Too soon.
I know.
And that was what, 2009? That's almost 20 years ago.
No, it's 2005.
5.
Yeah.
It's almost 20 years ago.
Almost 20 years ago.
Yeah. Needless to say, he wasn't super talkative or in a good mood. And I was like, I don't blame you. Hey, let's welcome the guy to the show who just lost his job. It's all over tonight at 8. How you doing, David Boreanaz? And one other note, I do want to congratulate Danielle, who is crew number 17. She won the Carb Day tickets on the KJ Today show on Wednesday night. I was so excited to be able to. It's the first time we've had Carb Day tickets to give away. So I want to say thank you to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for giving those tickets and allowing one of our kind of nerdy crew members to go to Carb Day for free. And we're going to be out at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway a ton, because it's just something that we love to do in May as well. And I guess we'll just, wrap up the night with Buffy being the star of the show. I'm going to wrap things up because I loved our end credits so much from Wednesday night. I'm just going to play them again.
Why not? Why not?
Go for it.
Hey, and you can hear us tonight. So
yes,
that's good.
yes. So if you like Andy Serkis and you love Gollum and you like cats, long story short, he created Gollum's voice inspired by his cat hacking up a hairball in the kitchen. And you will hear it now. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been the Kind of Nerdy Night In. My precious